say goodbye, because you're never going to see these people ever again. But you know, you never saw them in the first place. It's okay. Don't worry, you're all good. All right, you know my name. I'm not driving, though. My man over here, TJ's driving. Everybody say, what up, TJ?
What up, TJ?
I like your energy. I like it. Right on. All right, you know Russ. Let me go ahead and introduce you to my celebrity co-host. You might remember him from Saturday Night Live or even The Tonight Show starring Jimmy Fallon. That's because it's Jimmy Fallon. Take it away, Jim.
Oh, hey there. You made it. Welcome to the Universal Studio Tour. I'm Jimmy Fallon. I'll be making sure that you get through this experience in one piece. You've got the very best guide.
Michael.
And the greatest driver.
TJ.
They're the best. I love that. Even though
Michael
owes me $5.
Hey, what?
I know you guys are excited to get on the tour, but first, a few safety rules.
That's right, Jimmy. Thank you. We do have a few safety rules to go over. First and foremost, if you need any sort of assistance due to a medical emergency, something really important falls off the side of the trim, or you lose the audio and visual altogether, just go ahead and pull that red cord above your head. That is our emergency cord. The tram will stop, and I'll come back there and help you out as soon as it's safe for me to do so. Otherwise, do remain seated at all times, leaving your arms and legs inside the vehicle. We are heading out into private property, so do make sure you stay on the vehicle unless instructed otherwise. There's no smoking of any kind on our tour today, and do be prepared, because our tours feature things like loud noises, pyrotechnics, sun-tram movements, and even water effects, so just be ready for anything. There are also no selfie sticks on the tour that you can use, so if you got a selfie stick, keep it to yourself. All right, we're starting the tour right now, guys. We're heading out here to the San Fernando Valley. If you look to your right-hand side, we're going to see a bush car one, but don't worry. Behind it, you see the beautiful San Fernando Valley, where most of what you see on film and television is produced and even filmed. And we're going to show you exactly where we film all of our stuff. Right now, we're going down the Universal movie timeline. Take a look to your left and right-hand side. You're going to see a few classic original movie posters. You might even see a few blockbusters that you saw in theaters. All of this was started by a gentleman named Carl Laemmle. You're going to see him right here on your screen. He's the guy in the bow tie right there. He founded Universal Studios as we know it back in 1912 in New York City, eventually moving out here to California, opening up our doors March 15th, 1915, to a place called Universal City. You see, it was Carl's dream when he was a young man in Germany to create a city devoted only to making movies, and that's exactly what he did. Now, like I said, we are actually our own city. We have our very own zip code. We have our own phone code. You can get your shoes shined here, your clothes cleaned. We used to have a UPS. We even used to have a DMV that didn't help anybody out, just like the regular DMV does. We have a sheriff's substation here. We've got 3 different Starbucks and a coffee bean. We even have a mayor. Actually, we have someone who's called Mr. Mayor right now, which is Ted Danson, because that's a new show on NBC they were filming here. But most importantly, we have a firehouse. Take a look to your right-hand side. That's a real fire station, Fire Station 51. It is not a movie set. In fact, this is probably the last real thing you guys are going to see for the next 45 minutes, if I'm honest with you. Now, it's called Fire Station 51, and we pay homage to those guys in some of our films and TV shows. Right now, on NBC, if you check out Chicago Fire, they are Fire Station 51. Also on the TV show Friends, we all know Friends, right? When Rachel burns down Phoebe's apartment because she left the hair straightener on, it was Fire Station 51 that came to the rescue. So that's our firehouse. We like to keep them in the family with our shows. Now here in our city, we've got 2 major areas. We've got the Backlot and the front lot. We're heading to the front lot right now, where we have a lot of sound stages where they film things like the Kelly Clarkson show, which is filmed in Soundstage 1 in the very, very front area. But what we're going to see first is Soundstage number 12. This is one right behind me right here. It's going to be on your left-hand side. Soundstage 12 is one of our biggest and oldest soundstage we have here on the lot. And it used to be home to NBC's singing competition, The Voice. You can see the paint job right there. The Voice has moved to a different soundstage. But the thing about soundstages is not just one project shoots at a time. We try to film as many things as possible and cycle a different project out and get a new one in there. And Soundstage 12 has been home to so many projects throughout the years. Take a look at a few of them right here on your screen. It was once Frankenstein's laboratory. It was Dracula's castle. And even home to a great kids movie, Scarface. There you have it, folks. That is Soundstage number 12 right there. Take a look at your screens. That's what a soundstage looks like with absolutely nothing going on in there. But what's so special about these buildings is that they are 98% soundproof. All of them are, because the walls that you see on the screen are about 3 to 4 times thicker than that of a normal house. They also have Instaquilt. That's that tan color you see, and that helps to keep it solidified. Okay, so take a look to your left-hand side, you guys. These guys are building a world inside this soundstage, and what you see is a flat. So this is what movie sets, TV shows, music videos, and even theater. This is what sets actually look like on the back side. You can see it's like Luan wood, 2x4s, but on the other side of those, it could be anywhere in the entire world. Now, in this soundstage 16 and 17, one of the worlds they have built was the world of Superstore, one of my favorite shows. Take a look at it right here.
I know it's hot in here, but let's have some patience for one another.
Yeah, you know, the heat makes us all act.
If your face stays where it is, it's gonna get punched.
Like I said, that was filmed right there in Soundstage 16 and 17. The show is finished. It had its series finale, so you can go check it out on NBC.com, Hulu, or the Peacock app as well. Now, 16 and 17 is not the only soundstage they filmed that show. They also filmed it in Stage 21. That's where they had their break room, their stock room, different offices as well. Stage 21 has a very rich history here at Universal. Before Superstore, that is where the Mindy Project was filmed. It took place in New York City, but they never stepped foot there. They only filmed in Stage 21. Also, Jurassic Park filmed in there. Do you guys remember the scene where the Jeep was falling out of the tree? They never filmed that outside. It was only done in Soundstage number 21. There's also a giant pit in there. You can lower it past the ground level here, fill it up with whatever you need to. And that's what they did for the movie Jaws. They wanted to test the mechanical shark in water. That's what they tested it. And my favorite Universal movie that stars the greatest actor in the entire world, Tom Hanks, Apollo 13, shot right in there as well. That was Mission Control for that film. Now, we could have filmed at the actual Mission Control in Texas, but the issue is, it's a fairly normal-sized room. And on a film set, you have a lot of clunky things, like actors, and crew, and lights, and cameras. So we had to recreate it a little bit bigger than it is in real life to give Ron Howard and the whole crew plenty of space to work. Now, coming up on our right-hand side, this area is called TV Alley. A lot of TV shows have filmed over here, like Coach with Craig T. Nelson, Parenthood, Desperate Housewives series, Sabrina the Teenage Witch, and even a few game shows like this one that stars Jane Lynch, Hollywood Game Night. Take a look at this.
Whose name is worth more in Scrabble tiles? Uzo Aduba or David Oyelowo? Uzo Aduba.
Such a funny show, you guys. Now, it says that it takes place in Jane Lynch's living room, but they actually film over there in Stage 43. Don't tell anyone though, okay? That's a secret. Right now in Stage 43 and 44, we are filming the TV show Good Girls with Christina Hendricks, Mae Whitman, and Chucho Self. Loretta is in there as well. We're also filming Mr. Mayor, the new Ted Danson vehicle. Also stars Holly Hunter and Bobby Moynihan. They're filming at Stage 44. And Stage 44 is also where we filmed another one of my favorite TV shows, The Good Place. That also starred Ted Danson. If you watched The Good... Oh, so they have a red light on over there, which means they're filming. I gotta be quiet real quick. So you can see the red light spinning over on the stage over there. So what just happened was, we were going by Stage 44 and there was a red light on. They have a spinning red light. Sometimes that's called a wigwag light, and that lets people like me know that they are actually filming inside of that soundstage, and I have to be very quiet. Do you have a question? When what? Ask me at the end. I can't hear you, sorry. But over here on your left-hand side, guys, these are our production bungalows. These are where movies and TV shows get started. We have a lot of different producers, directors, writers. We used to have actual directors like Robert Zemeckis that brought you Forrest Gump with the greatest actor in the entire world, Tom Hanks. These actually used to be dressing rooms for Hollywood's biggest talent like Doris Day, Rock Hudson, James Stewart. Back in the golden age of cinema, actors signed a contract saying they'd only make movies for us. So a lot of those actors would live here during the week while they filmed and only went home on the weekends whenever they weren't filming. The most famous bungalow, though, is this one on your left, 5195, home to the De Laurentiis Company. Take a look at that silhouette. That is Alfred Hitchcock, the famous silhouette. And we all know Hitchcock, right? Directed movies like Vertigo, Rear Window, Psycho, The Birds, incredible movies. Over here, soundstage number 22 and 23 is where Kenan Thompson is currently filming his TV show, Kenan. Also stars Chris Redd, one of his SNL buddies. They're constantly flying back and forth from LA to New York to film both of those things. But this is also where Hairspray Live, the musical, starred. Ariana Grande, they shot right in there. Good Girls is shot right here. Law & Order is shot right here as well. Now, we're about to leave the front lot and go to the back lot. The front lot has the sound stages, where we do a lot of the interior filming. The back lot has these sets right here. You see some of these buildings like right behind me. These are our Metro sets where we do a lot of the exterior filming. But these actually are not real. These are what we call facades, which means there's nothing inside of them. If you open up one of the doors, this is all you see right here on your screen. Really big pieces of wood keeping them upright. That's it. Right now they are setting up for a TV show called Good Girls, which you talked about earlier, right there on New York Metro Street. But take a look, you guys. Everything you see is made out of plastic and fiberglass and painted to look like an actual city. And that helps us to change any time period in any city in the entire world. Now, we worked with a lot of really great directors on that street. One of the best, though, is Peter Jackson. He made King Kong back in 2005. Check this out, right here.
It's the original King Kong that made me want to direct movies. I saw that movie on TV when I was about 8 or 9 years old, and I wanted to become a filmmaker. I like films that just take you away from your real life and sweep you up into adventure. Kong literally does that. I mean, you're on board the ship, you're sailing to a lost island, you're encountering monsters and creatures from, prehistoric times. So I was thrilled when Universal invited me back to Skull Island, and it's great to have you along for the ride. Now, we have created this 3D immersive experience, so you're going to have your glasses ready. Don't put them on yet, but just have them in your hand because we're about to return to Skull Island. The Universal tram is winding its way through a very rough, narrow trail in Skull Island, allowing the visitors a little sneak peek at some of the wildlife of Skull Island. In a sense, this is like a mini sequel, a mini continuation. We're just taking the Kong and Skull Island and the dinosaurs that we established in our feature film, and this is, another day, another incident on Skull Island.
That's right, folks. So we're going to head there right now. And as we do remember to remain seated at all times. So if you have any of these articles, that would be a good time to secure those. Those things are going to get very behind. Folks, you can go ahead and take off those 3D glasses. Do hang on to them. We'll need them a little later on in the tour, but don't worry, I will let you know when. Now that whole thing right there was brought to you by Peter Jackson and the geniuses over at Weta Digital. Weta Digital is some of the leaders in CGI entertainment. They've got 6 Academy Awards, most recently winning for their work on Disney's Jungle Book a few years ago. But they've worked on some pretty cool movies like War of the Planet of the Apes, Hobbit Trilogy, Lord of the Rings Trilogy, Avatar. So many great movies. Now, that is the room we were just in. That screen is 40 feet tall. It's 180 feet long. It's the second largest 3D screen in the United States.
With a project like the studio tour, the audience is in the middle of the environment. They're looking in all directions. There's creatures coming at them. They're seeing Kong from this side and T-Rexes from the other side.
Working on a movie, we always know where people are looking. They're looking straight ahead. They're looking at the shot that we're working on.
Here you have to take into account that people are looking in all directions.
Also, one of the things about this ride, unlike the movies that we're used to working on, there's no cuts. Because it's one giant shot. This tram that's driving along through Skull Island is where the camera's from. This ring represents where the screen is 10 meters away. We're really creating about 50 minutes of a feature film. That amount of visual information, that number of pixels, and presenting them to the audience, it's a hell of a ride.
That's right, folks. It is one heck of a ride if I do say so myself. Now, some of you might have seen the car 5, the very last car, was sunk into the picture, and we lost all of those guests to Skull Island. Well, that happens. Now, whenever you see something like car 5 or any sort of vehicle show up on film or television, we have a very special name for that. We like to call that a picture car. And we get a real treat for you coming up here in just a moment. We have some of our picture cars on display. Now, as we drive by, keep in mind, some of these cars will become just as famous as the actors that drove them. Look out! So many amazing cars from great franchises like Back to the Future, Flintstones as well. Some of the Fast and Furious vehicles up here. Now for Fast and the Furious, we're going to have multiple versions of each of these vehicles. Because we do so many stunts, we might actually ding one up or put a dent in or something like that. So we'll just swap it out for a completely different one. One of my favorites is the gyrosphere from Jurassic World right here. If you take a close look, it might look like the glass is missing. But the glass was never there. It was all done with CGI. The reason we did that is because glass reflects, so you see the light, the crew, the camera, everything. Also, you can't encompass people in glass and expect them to breathe, so we did it with CGI. And this tank from Transformers looks pretty mean, doesn't it? But I would not take that to battle, my friends. It's made entirely of wood. What? Now, why would we do? I know, right? Why would we do that? Why would we make a tank out of wood? Let's say, for instance, we're filming a movie about the U.S. Army. We can't just borrow a tank from the Army for a number of reasons. One, they might need it. 2, it's probably really expensive to borrow. And 3, it costs a lot to just transport it. So if you make it out of wood, you solve all those problems. And if you're going to do a cool stunt and blow it up, you don't have to apologize to the Army after you've completely destroyed their tank. But now, folks, we're going to switch gears and take you to a place that brought moviegoers just off the coast of Costa Rica.
Welcome to Jurassic Park.
That's right, my friends. Welcome to Isla Nublar. As we head in here, take a look to your left and right hand side. You're going to see a few set pieces of picture cars from the Jurassic Park franchise. Coming up on your left hand side, you're going to see a cage that held the ferocious dinosaur. But it did not do a very good job because it's made out of fiberglass and painted to look like steel. Same goes for this big vehicle on your left hand side. This is the mobile lab from the second Jurassic Park film, The Lost World. And if you take a close look at it, you're going to notice it's made mostly out of wood. And that's because we did a really cool stunt. We dangled it from the side of a gorge. And if it was made out of steel and metal, it would be very difficult, very dangerous to do. If you make it out of plywood, it's a lot safer. A lot safer for everybody on the set, too, which is great. And oh my gosh, we have a dinosaur attack. Guys, hang in there. folks, I want to talk about the Jurassic Park franchise real quick because there's something really important about those films, and it's the weather that they use in those movies. If you think about when the T-Rexes or anything are attacking, it's usually dark and raining, it's stormy outside, it's kind of spooky, right? It's not as scary if there's a big rainbow behind the T-Rex. Kind of like in this scene right here. Here's a good example of that. In this scene, the weather is really setting the mood. Well, here in Southern California, all we get is pretty much boring old sunshine. So if we want to create a mood like this and make it a little bit scarier by changing the weather, we can't rely on Mother Nature to do it. We have to change the weather. We're going to show you exactly how we do it right here in Old Mexico, one of the oldest parts of our line. Now take a look. You might recognize some of these sets if you watch HBO's Westworld Season 1. This is Pariah. Awesome show. Do not watch it with your kids, though. Also, Lady Gaga's music video Judas took place right over here. And the movie The Three Amigos was starred by two favorite Martins, filmed right here as well. The whole beginning scene that took place in Mexico. Now what you're hearing and seeing, of course, is thunder and lightning. Thunder coming from a speaker system above our heads, lightning coming from high-intensity LED lights gives you the idea of an oncoming storm. Sounds like it's close. There it is. Now to those of you that are native to Southern California, this is called weather. It's a pretty simple effect. We get a sprinkler system right above our heads. It shoots water straight up in the air, falls down very naturally thanks to gravity. Now this is movie rain. It's a little bit different. If you're ever watching a baseball game, it gets postponed due to the rain, you look at your screen, you can't actually see it. That's real rain. Movie rain is 5 times bigger, so it shows up on camera a lot better. That's why actors get soaking wet almost immediately during rain sequences. Now, if you were filming here, you wouldn't be hearing any of the thunder. That would all be done post-production. If your actors are having a conversation on the bridge over here, and an intense one, you don't want to ruin that audio. Well, speaking of intense, we're going to flash flood. And that right there is the result of thousands of gallons of water making its way to that hook to scare you nice people. And like I said, you have seen that effect in other projects. In Lady Gaga's music video Judas, she stood in the middle of that flash flood in 6-inch stiletto heels. And you also saw those, not the heels, but you saw the water effect in Big Fat Liar, movie starring Paul Giamatti, Frankie Muniz, and Amanda Bynes. Take a look.
You can't outrun a wolf, kid! Yeah, we'll see about that. Hang on, buddy,
Poor Paul Giamatti stunt double. He never wins. Now folks, this does mark the approximate halfway point of our tour, so once again, if you need my attention for any reason, go ahead and pull that red cord above your head and I will come back there and help you out as soon as it's safe for me to do so. Hey guys, over here on your left-hand side, this area is known as 6 Points, Texas. 6 Points, Texas got its name because back in the silent film era, there were 6 streets going around this whole area, and we could shoot 6 movies at the exact same time. Now those are silent films, so it didn't matter that we were filming all those movies with a bunch of hoopla and yelling going on. Now we can really only shoot 1 movie at a time, of course. And one of my favorite movies that is filmed over here in recent time was Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, directed by Quentin Tarantino, starred Leonardo DiCaprio and Brad Pitt. If you watch that movie, the whole beginning sequence where it was Leonardo DiCaprio's TV show and also his movie is what shot over here. Hey, what's up, Jermaine? Shot right over here. So that was pretty cool to have those types walking all up and down our Western sets. Superstar has filmed over here as well. Now these are more of those facades. Remember I talked about that in the metros? The buildings that aren't actually real? That's what all these buildings are as well. If you walk into any of these doors, look at this, there's a door right here, and it just goes back into all of this, which is storage. That's all that most of our sets are. We'll talk about another type of set a little bit later. But I want to draw your attention up here to the front and your left-hand side. You are going to see a lake over here called Park Lake. And it's just a man-made lake. It's not very, very big. But what's cool about something like this is it's just a little lake, but we can make it look like any body of water in the entire world. If we want to make this look like the Pacific Ocean, all we have to do is put a boat in there, add some waves, the wave machine, shoot in the right direction, maybe put up a blue screen, and voila, it's the Pacific Ocean. My favorite use, though, of Park Lake was as a lagoon in this movie. The creature from the Black Lagoon. This is where the creature lived, right here. Now something cool, there were 2 actors to play the creature from the Black Lagoon. There's this actor, was their main actor, would do all the above water sequences. Their second actor was a professional diver who would do all the underwater sequences, and he could hold his breath for up to 6 minutes while they filmed underwater. That is insane, and I would not recommend trying it. It is not easy. But now, folks, we're going to head into Soundstage 50, one of the only soundstages on our backlot, the only one we can drive into. They were filming a commercial in here, and we're going to drive in, so we're going to see what they were doing. I'm just going to kind of point things out as we go in there and see whatever's going on. I know that it's a subway. That's all I really know. No, you don't need your glasses for this one. You're all good. Okay, up here we've got a place called Video Village on your left. That's where the producer, director are going to sit and watch what's being filmed to see if they like it, see if they need to do another take. The camera is on a little track called a dolly track. Usually a camera operator is going to be pushing that forward really slowly. It's usually for some big emotional build, so that's most likely what was happening in this scene. Up here in the front, we got hair and makeup. We also have Crafty, which is my favorite part of the set. That's where all the food is. You're going to see a lot of the crew members up here, not so much the actors, because they got to maintain their weight. No need to worry. Like everyone just hang in there. This could be subway today. Alright, let's get out here. Oh no, the water main just broke. Everybody look out! Survived the earthquake, the big one. Very well done. Nobody was screaming or crying in there. You guys must be used to earthquakes by now. Now that's not just something fun for us to roll through and experience. You can actually film inside of there and use a lot of those practical effects. And they did on the TV show Bones. Take a look at how they feature those effects.
What's going on? Let's get out of here! The water main just broke!
Now, a lot of large destruction movies like to intercut between a little bit of CGI and practical effects like you saw in there. Mix the two together, it's hard to tell what's real. But now, folks, we're going to take it easy and relax, go to one of my favorite places here in LA, and that, of course, is the beach. Amity Island, to be exact. Now, you might remember this New England town was terrorized by a great white shark in the film Jaws. But don't worry, we caught the shark, so we're okay. And we do have one of our divers out there, George, just kind of combing the area to make sure we're safe and make sure none of this stuff ever happens again. Let's see if you will come out and say hi. Hey, George! Come out and say hey to everybody, man. They're good to meet you. George, I see you right there, but why don't you come out and say hi to everybody, man? He's a little shy, but oh my gosh, wait a minute, that's a dorsal fin, there's a shark out there. George, if you can hear me, there's still a shark in the area. You can get back to that boat right now. George, hey, good to see you, bud. There's a shark coming your way, man. You can get back to that boat right now. That's all right, it's okay, don't worry. George is trained for underwater combat with sharks, as all the tools he needs. He's gonna be perfectly fine. Never mind, he is not good. Oh boy. He owed me money too. I'm not getting that. Alright, let's look behind these gas barrels. We'll be safe here. And we're doing some bait in the barrel out there. If the shark takes the bait, we're alright. If not, we'll need a bigger train. I don't know where he is. Oh wait, he's taking the bait. He's under the water. I don't see him. shark worked really, really well. The mechanical shark on the set of Jaws, not so well. Take a look at this right here on your screens.
That's a much maligned shark. The shark was frustrating. It didn't really work all the time. It didn't work hardly at all.
Wherever you were on the island, you could hear the radio buddies. They were always saying, the shark is not working. Repeat, the shark is not working.
We just waited around. We just waited and waited and waited.
The shark worked well enough. For a while there, it had the biggest hit. So I really owe the shark a lot.
Well, you heard it right here, folks. They did have a lot of issues on the set of Jaws. In fact, they went about 100 days over schedule, which is insane. They also went 3 times over their budget, which generally studios do not like. But thank goodness we stuck with it, because now we have the very classic Jaws film. Now, all of those issues ended up being a blessing. Jaws was originally supposed to come out Christmas of 1974. Believe it or not, Jaws was a Christmas movie. Instead, it got pushed back to summer of 1975, scared everybody out of the water and into the movie theaters. And as Steven Spielberg said, it was one of the biggest hits of all time. Now, this shark that you see right here was also part of the issues. It sank to the bottom of the ocean on a number of occasions, and like I said, it just wasn't working, which is why they had to refilm a lot of scenes from the shark's perspective, going after divers, going after the boat, things like that. Made it one of the scariest movies that I've ever seen. Not seeing the shark is so much scarier than actually seeing the shark. There's a pretty cool building over here on your right-hand side, known as the Chicken Ranch. You see this in a whole lot of movies. It was built for this one right here, not Jaws, but the best little house in Texas, starring Dolly Parton and Burt Reynolds. Now, this house is a practical set. That means we can film inside, outside, upstairs, downstairs, anywhere we need to. And as we drive by, take a look at the neighbor's house. It's the perfect shot of a facade, just the front of the house, and that's it. The perfect neighbors live right there. And a bunny rabbit. Now, I want to draw your attention to the left-hand side over here. This is Colonial Street, better known as Wisteria Lane. That's where the Desperate Housewives filmed for 8 very successful seasons. Also, Mindy Kaling's new show, Never Have I Ever, which is on Netflix. And the greatest actor in the entire world, Tom Hanks, filmed The Burbs, as well as Lady Killers, right in there. Right now, we're driving up Greens Road, and there's something pretty cool about this particular street. It's on either side of us. We got trees, and that might sound kind of weird, but it's really rare for a movie studio to have this amount of foliage on their backlot. Usually, a studio will fill up every square inch with sound stages or sets so that they can film right there. But we have this overgrow area so that we can do hiking and camping sequences. Like to camp, all we have to do is pitch a tent, light a fire, and now we're camping. They hiked in the movie Bird Box on Netflix with Sandra Bullock right over here where this tram is. There was a scene where Sandra Bullock's hiking with the 2 kids. It was just done right there. This is also a really good area to do car accidents. Usually at night. This is a little creepy because it looks like the woods. It looks like the middle of nowhere. So a lot of TV shows and movies have done that. Most recently, 911. Last season, they flipped a limousine over here. Desperate Housewives, anytime they had a car accident, it was pretty much done on this street right here. And speaking of cars, even cars that you crash are picture cars. And we got a few more coming up on your right-hand side. This is a good example of things that we can do here in-house. You know, we can customize all these vehicles right here on the studio. Paint jobs, even the outside. We can change the fiberglass outside to change the look of the car. If you look at the very back, you're going to see a hearse right there. That is Beetlejuice's hearse from the movie Beetlejuice. And if you think about it, Beetlejuice was, he was a bad guy because he didn't have our main character's best interest at heart. But he actually parked right next door to the worst guy. And that, of course, is Norman Bates. 2 of the most famous sets still standing in all of Hollywood. This is the Bates Motel you see on your right-hand side from Psycho 2. And the original house of Psycho just on top of the hill. You think we should keep going? We all go on. I think that's a good idea. Yeah, I don't want to stop here. Instead, what we'll do is we'll take this psychopath all the way up to Mother's house. That's true. Now we're making our way to Mother's house here right now. This is the original house of Psycho, the actual one they used for the filming. Mother's house is what we call a shell. It's the other type of set. It's just 4 walls and nothing inside. Unless you go to the 2nd floor, where Mother is. But don't be scared, she's a very classy lady. She's always been good to TJ and I. Oh, she also makes killer cupcakes, you guys. She absolutely rules. But keep your cameras out and ready because we're driving on one of the coolest exterior sets in all of Hollywood. This is the famous plane crash site from Steven Spielberg's 2005 film War of the Worlds. And what you're looking at right now is a real-life Boeing 747. It cost filmmakers $60,000 to purchase, and it was destroyed for this one scene right here on your screens.
The airplane crash site set is a perfect example of a set that is all designed around the vision that Steven had.
It's like, yeah, you sit down and talk about War of the World. I thought, what if the 747 goes down right in a big neighborhood? Because it's just something you don't see.
You're doing good. You're doing good. Keep pressing me. Listen, close your eyes, okay? Okay. Got them closed?
Robbie, get in. Get in. And there you have it, folks. That is the scene right there. Like I said, cost the filmmakers $60,000 to purchase. But to have it transported from the Mojave Desert here to our backlot, it cost filmmakers in excess of $200,000. And it was only in the movie for 4 minutes. But there's a rule here in Hollywood, and it's Steven Spielberg gets whatever he wants, which is why you see that plane back here. Now, my favorite set is right here on your right-hand side. This whole area is called Falls Lake. It includes this cabin you see. And you've seen this cabin in a lot of different projects. You saw it in Deja Vu, starring Denzel Washington, Shooter with Mark Wahlberg, The Great Outdoors with the late John Candy, The Desperate Housewives series, and also Deja Vu, starring Denzel Washington. And my favorite part of this area is that big blue wall. They filmed some awesome movies out there, like Bruce Almighty. They also filmed Dunkirk, Warner Brothers Zoo, where the boats are capsizing. That was all done right there. And they filmed an incredible movie that starred the greatest actor in the entire world, Tom Hanks. They filmed Sully right over there, guys. Take a look at this.
Evacuate.
Now that plane was actually parked out there on the concrete slab. They raised it up on stilts, and the water was brought to the level of the plane. You'll notice it doesn't move as the actors walk on the wing. Very convenient. But these actors are perfectly safe. They're only in about 3 or 4 feet deep of water, so if they slip and fall, all they gotta do is stand up, and they're perfectly fine. Which is why people like to film here instead of somewhere like the East River, like this. The East River is it's dark, it's deep, it's dirty, it's scary. Godzilla lives there, but here you don't have any of those issues. And, we're getting rerouted to Sullivan Truck Repair. Not sure why. This is around Street Racer Party Hangout. Things are getting kind of dicey, so everyone stay cool, stay calm, stay seated, and we're going to figure out what's going on. I don't think you need your pretty glasses just yet. I'll let you know. Looks like someone's trying to make contact with us. Let's see if I can't patch them through here on my system. Give me just 1 second. I got to set up the patch. All right, here we go. Everybody listen up. Here's our contact. They're going to let us know exactly what is going on here. All right, here we go.
My name is Roman Pierce. Pleased to meet you. My buddy Hobbs asked us to stash you in Shaw for a while. So we brought you in our secret spot.
All right, look guys, we're gonna keep Shaw from finding you, but to keep you safe, we need your help. We don't want the syndicate tracking us here, so put away your cameras and turn off your cell phones. 1 flash or 1 ringtone could give us away.
I need y'all to take this real serious.
Okay, pull into the next bay and we'll meet you in there.
All right, folks, here we go to the next bay. One of our secret spots to see what's... Oh, we got a little party going on here. Check this out.
Roman Pierce, FBI, don't move.
Damn.
That's right, party's over.
You know how long I took to iron this shirt, man? I'm not.
You're under arrest right now.
Ladies, let's back up a little bit. Got it. It's lightweight. First of all, I don't work for you.
Oh, really? Well, tell me, Roman, who do you work for?
We don't work for nobody. Coppers are just clear out of here, otherwise we can't guarantee your safety.
Guarantee my safety? I'm the one holding the gun.
Yeah, but mine's a whole lot bigger than yours.
Hobbs, escort this novice out.
Let's go, Cookie Puss.
You got an ugly suit on, man. It's cheap.
Somebody out there really pissed off Shaw. It's gonna get ugly fast.
Yeah, don't worry. Lucky for you, our whole family will protect you.
Are you kidding me, Roman? You didn't shut off your phone, bro?
I gotta call you back. I'm in the middle of something.
See what I'm talking about?
Call you back. It was on vibrate. Michelle traced us. Hobbs can't hold him forever. Letty, Roman, we're up. Driver, move that vehicle.
All right, we're moving.
It's about to get real interesting. My Mona Lisa's all warmed up right next door. Roman, grab your truck. I need you and Letty ready to roll.
Safe space for us, which is good. And you know what, now's a good time. Why don't you go ahead and put on those 3D glasses, as they will protect your eyes in case you get into any sticky situations. No one. Does not sound like they're having fun out there, my friends.
Speak now or you all get fried!
This is our turn.
After them!
Okay, guys, it's showtime! Hook him up!
They say the bigger the family, the stronger it is. You guys did good out there. And you're welcome to join our crew anytime.
Now, folks, we are ending nearing the end of our tour now, and I must go ahead and take this moment to thank each and every one of you for joining us today. Here's a little insider tip. Go ahead and download the official Universal Studios Hollywood app so you can get up-to-the-minute park information. And on behalf of TJ, myself, and everyone here at NBC Universal, we hope you enjoyed your exclusive behind-the-scenes Hollywood experience. And folks, while you're out there in the park, do make sure to follow all team member instructions as you are entering and exiting on rides and attractions. Make sure you keep your facial coverings on at all times. And as always, it's a good idea to wash your hands or sanitize them as often as you can. Now, folks, we talked about a lot of movies today. And if you're interested in any of the films we discussed or any of these films you see right here, you can always head to one of our fine retail establishments to let you know where you can purchase them. Or just head to UniversalStudiosEntertainment.com and you can check them out right over there, folks. But as they say in the biz, that's a wrap. I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day here at Universal Studios Hollywood, the entertainment capital of LA.
Time to rock and roll.
Bring the noise.
What do you want here?
Alright guys, listen to some blues riff from me. Watch me for the changes and try to